Hello, my name is Mike Johnson. Take you on an inside and outside video tour of this 2013 Thor Palazzo diesel motorhome. There's a diesel pusher, not a front engine diesel. There's a diesel pusher. And I'm gonna explain and take my time on this video, but there's important things we're gonna start out with. This is a 2013 with a gross vehicle weight rating of 26,000 pounds, which means it's a lightweight diesel, so you only need a regular car driver's license to drive it. A lot of states, if the gross vehicle weight rating is above 26,000 pounds, you need a bus license. This one is not. This one is just at 26,000 pounds. So 26,001 pound rating, you got to go to DMV and get an upgrade on your license. Not this one. This is a Class C driver's license capable diesel pusher motorhome. So that's an important point to point out to start out with. It has I mentioned it has a 26,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating. It is a lightweight motorhome, but it's not a cheapskate. This is a really nice one. To start out with, it has a glossy full body paint job. This is the factory paint. There's no stickers here. These are all painted on graphics. It's been painted at the factory. Sometimes it costs like $15,000 upgrade to order your RV with the factory paint job. So full body painted graphics, and it's in really good condition. So as I hold the camera up high, and down low, there's no big imperfections or anything like that to point out for you. The diesel engine is in the back. Because it has a diesel engine in the back, the noise is back here, so it's nice and quiet in the driver's seat. It's like riding on the airport shuttle bus, the one with the bigger ones, the nicer ones. Rear engine diesel. And on the back we have a 10,000 pound rated trailer hitch, so you can tow the big trailers with all your toys in them. Up to 10,000 pound trailer weight rating. Now the 26,000 pound is not the combined weight rating. The combined weight rating is higher. We'll talk about that later. In the middle, because the engine's in the back, there's no drive shaft to go down the middle. So you have this massive pass-through cargo storage. Got a paper towel roll holder here. It has a sliding tray. You release this lever and this tray slides across, so you can put something heavier on the tray. We're going to leave this open. There are additional storage areas. A Class A motorhome is easy to drive. This one has big towing mirrors with wide convex lens and side view cameras right here on the mirror. So you get a camera view of the side plus the mirror view, and that's a lot easier to drive one of these diesel motorhomes, because this is on the Freightliner chassis and something which is called the wheel cut. How sharp can the front wheels turn? They can turn really sharp on a Freightliner chassis, and it makes it able to make real tight U-turns. I'm going to show you a little picture here of a C-Class motorhome, the one with the van in the front. This is easier to drive than that. It'll turn circles inside what the C-Class motorhome can do. That's because of that wheel cut angle. Big 22.5 inch wheel diameter. This has the bigger tires on it. It's a nice setup. Electronics compartment for your systems. And here's a thing to point out. This is where you put the gas or diesel fuel. Actually, you put your diesel fuel in on the left side, but wait, you can put diesel fuel on the right side too. That's a really cool thing about diesels. They give you 2 gas caps, one on each side. So wherever it's convenient to put the fuel in, no problem. Fuel fill on both sides. Big one-piece front windshield, and then this has a power shade awning. You see this curtain inside? That's a power awning, so you have a little driver's side switch to lower or raise that. On the front, to protect the paint job, it has a clear 3M film over the front, like a, what they call it, a diamond shield or a rock protecting bra material over the whole front to protect it from rock chip damage. We're going to show the front upper cap, that there's no paint damage on the front upper cap. You got to watch that on some motorhomes if they spend a lot of time outside. Unfortunately, my detailer, when he waxed up there, he had trouble getting up there. You can see the paint is like a mirror finish, and we just had it waxed by the detailer. On this is the opposite side, full pass-through storage. If you buy any other type of motorhome, you don't get these big storage compartments. Look how big that is. Now that's the steel frame rails for the chassis going through it, but you can store stuff under and above it. You could put a couple tires under here. You can't do that on most motorhomes. The next compartment is your sewage hookup station here. You have an outside shower to rinse off. You've got your valves to low point drains and everything. Black and gray handle. Now there's a cool features under the hood here. First of all, you've got a giant 6,000 watt generator, and right now it only has 509.8 hours, and we are running it, so we're putting more hours on it. It's a diesel generator. You could put 4,000, 8,000 hours on that generator. It's not even going to phase it. Under the hood here, we have a little quick connect for an air hose. So you ever been to the mechanic shop? I'm sure you have, where they work on your cars and they get the air gun out. They're the boo, boo, boo. You can plug in an air hose to the RV and use that. The RV, because it's diesel pusher, it has air ride suspension. And so you can plug an air connector into that and check your air pressure on your tires, add air to the tires, or even fill up the cars in your driveway if you have the RV at your house. You can put air. You can run power tools with that air hose. It's actually got an onboard air compressor for the air suspension and the air brakes. It's a really nice setup. This is the leveling jack unit. It's nice, clean condition. No leaks. I mentioned we have the side view cameras, pass-through storage. We have onboard propane for cooking. That's your propane tank in the left front compartment. We just filled that up for you. We're about to go inside, but before we do, I'm going to show you this does have the power main awning. And on the side of the power main awning, it's height adjustable. These little holes with a push button there. You push that little tab and you can raise or lower the height depending on the angle of the sun or how hard it's raining. It's got a push tab on each side of the awning. I think I forgot to show you. There's 110 volt power outlets right here. So you could sit your 50-inch TV in the storage compartment if you want. This does not have a outside TV, but you have a nice big place where you could put one if you wanted to. Remember, this is a 33.2. I'm going to go ahead and retract the awning. Power awning control is up here on the overhead. As I hit the switch, that awning is winding up. It just slowly rolls up, nice and easy. The advantage of a power awning, in the old days, you had to play with a stick and turn some knobs and lift some levers and lift the awning and put spikes in the ground to put the RV awnings out. Not this one. Just roll it up, hit the button. 33.2 floor plan. Here is the picture of the floor plan on a graphic, so you can visualize what it looks like inside. You can pause this, you know, it's YouTube. You can pause, you can fast forward. Right now I have it in a sleep configuration for everything except the sofa. Up over the front, you have an electric front bunk. Here's a brand new in the box sealed air mattress for it. So you can set this air mattress up, it plugs in the wall and blows itself up. Or you can buy one of those foam mattress pads, but Thor ships these with an air mattress. I'm giving you a brand new air mattress. It's an electric bunk, so it rolls up into the ceiling. We have the TVs on. This one has a Samsung soundbar with a TV. This is a Dream dinette. Right now it's down with a cushion, so you could sleep in this position. This is a jackknife sofa. And then these are the books and manuals to support the coach. So I take my shoes off because it's really clean in here. We have a genuine Korean countertop, solid surface cooktop, convection microwave oven. This cooks like an oven, baking, or like a microwave, so it gets hot. It's like a toaster oven. We have a 3-burner cooktop, which has these nice cooktop covers. These are Korean covers. There's a slot behind right here. Lights under the cabinet. There's a slot right here to put the cooktop under. 3 burners. Look, it's really clean. When we open the drawers, they're really clean inside. This is not full-timer motorhome. This is barely used at all. It's really clean inside, outside. Everything is clean. In the bedroom, we have a queen bed. It's a full walk-around queen, so we can walk all the way around the bed. There's no obstacles on the floor. As we go into some motorhomes, it can get pretty tight around the bed. Not this one. You can easily maneuver around the bed. We put in some LED lights. These are LED night lights here for reading lights. You have a TV in the bedroom. So in the cabinets, I got a little movie light to see better. This is a build information. You got hanging clothes closet. It's about 6 feet high. Storage beside the bed here. A little laundry hamper. Hanging clothes wardrobe on each side of the bed. There's a lot of storage in this motorhome, and it's a shorter body. This is brand new linen, by the way. That's the packaging. Nobody's ever slept on this. It's brand new linen. Additional hanging clothes wardrobe here. They do have lights. Shelf or adjustable height. And this one supports a washer and dryer. This is your washer and dryer cabinet. It's all set up. All you got to do is buy a washer and dryer suitable for RV use and have it installed. Sometimes you can go to places like Camping World and they'll install them for a special price. But we can also order you a brand new washer and dryer. You got your hot water, your cold water, your drain water, your electrical for 2 appliances. This would be electric washer and electric dryer. Lighting in the cabinet. I'm going to give you a little graphic here to show you what the washer and dryer is. Now there's 2 different types you can buy. You can buy the shorter one, which is a washer dryer single unit, or you can do the stack. I recommend the stack. It does the job much faster. And it's really easy. See, you start the generator when you're leaving the campground. You start a load of laundry and you head on down the road. By the time you get to your destination, you've already switched it at some point from the washer to the dryer. So when you're hooking up camp at the end of the day, you have a clean load of laundry to take out and hang up or wear. There's additional storage here the controls for the dual air conditioner. Now, did I mention this is a full wall slide out? So the slide out is from here all the way to the front, right behind the driver's seat. This whole wall moves out. And when I say this is clean, let's look. This has a heater in the floor. Look how clean it is in the floor ducts. They're not even dirty in the floor. That's places people like to look. Now, I'm going to show you a picture of how this turns into a bed, because I want to keep the video from getting too long. I'm going to show you a picture, but basically you take the cushions off, you pull it out, and it turns into a bed, a jackknife, modified jackknife sofa. And you can even put an air mattress on top of it to sleep 2 people here if you want to. So you could sleep 2 on the queen, up to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For most comfort, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 to 8 people could hypothetically sleep. Now, talking about the kitchen and bathroom, this has a full residential refrigerator that runs off the inverter. This is much larger than your old school absorption RV refrigerator. It's clean. It's nice and clean in there. No rust. Nice and clean refrigerator. Stainless steel finish. We already talked about the 3-burner cooktop. You got a double sink in the kitchen area with Corian sink covers, so you can maximum use of the counter space. So as we come into the restroom and shower area, you have a porcelain toilet. Some RVs only have a plastic toilet. This one has a porcelain toilet, and everything is clean back here. Even the heater vent under and behind the toilet, it's nice and clean. The shower's clean. Looks barely used. It's really nice shower in good condition. Your glass enclosure, which can lock. Stainless sink. Large and deep medicine cabinet. This is larger and deeper than most of the medicine cabinets that you find in motorhomes. You have these halogen high performance flush mounted lights in here, and you have towel racks on the door. Take this air mattress out of the way, take the ladder, set it to the side, and there's a push button and the safety key up here. You just hit the button and the electric power brings it up into position. It electrically jacks up into the ceiling. Out of the way. Make sure everything's out of the way. I'm doing this one-handed. And there are safety pins that can lock it into position in the up position. So we have the Dream dinette. I had to use 2 hands to put it up. The Dream dinette has a little lever underneath. No leg. This little lever locks it in the up position, so you can sit here and enjoy your dinette. Your booth dinette. You have AC electrical power under the dinette. Up in the front, these seats swivel around. We mentioned we reupholstered. This has an ultra leather, water resistant. It's basically the same stuff they use for boats, and if you get in here with a wet swimsuit, it won't destroy the material, and it's very sun resistant. The driver's seat is a 6-way power adjusting. This release lever allows it to swivel, and then on the front you have swivel and forward and back controls to release it for swiveling, and then the seat swivels and locks in the forward position. It's Freightliner diesel. You've got the power shade awning over the front, so I can hit the switch and raise this shade up The nice thing about these, you can keep it kind of low and drive head on into the sunrise or the sunset down the open road. Now if you need to see traffic signals, you need to put up a little bit higher. But on the open road, when you're driving long distance across country, I really like these front window shades. And then for the side, we have curtains, we have storage in the front. These are nice and clean. Everything is clean in this motorhome. Clean, clean, clean. Over here, before we start taking it for a test drive, we've got the master control center. We can test the fluid levels, the water heater for gas or electric. So there's two heating systems, propane heat or AC 110 volt, like a coffee maker gets hot, water heat. If you're running both and you're in a full hookup campground, you'll never run out of hot water. It's a quick recovery system. Patio light, water pump on and off, extend or retract the full wall slide. So let's bring in the bedroom slide. You see the bedroom slide, this is a full room bedroom slide. It's longer than the average. It's right here. I'm gonna bring it in. That slide comes in. And puts away. These are also your air conditioning controls right here. So if you want to do the slide, you just hit the switch here. This is a full wall slide, so it's important that this RV be as level as possible. They are a little temperamental if it's not leveled properly. So if it's not, it won't go smoothly. So you need to make sure that it's level. Sometimes it's better to have the air suspension supporting it before you move it in or out. It'll go nice and smooth inside or out. But it's a full wall slide, and they do tend to be a little bit temperamental on the full wall slide if there's any misalignment of the body. Because it's a lightweight motorhome, if you have any twist, if the RV is twisted at all, then you need to level it a little bit better before you move the slide in or out. So with the slide in, we can still walk all the way from the front to the back. I had another Thor diesel and you could not get to the washer and dryer when the slide was in. This one you can. If you have a washer and dryer in here, you can get to it and access it with the slide in. It is possible to walk to the bathroom or all the way to the bedroom and all the way to the front. You can even sleep in here with the slides closed. There's a table here for the front, like a little dining table, computer table. Rear engine diesel pushers, they have the entry seat all the way in the front. This has a better visibility, more like a gas A-class, and you don't have a driver's entry door in front of the front seat. So you have a nice floor space in front of your passenger seat. The entry door is back a little bit over here, like a normal motorhome. I personally prefer the entry door right here. It's closer to the campground. And let's cover just a few things. We've got all the books and manuals in this big bag here. The owner's manual packet. You don't have to read all that stuff. That's if you ever had, hey, how do I work something? You can look it up if you need to. Over here is the TV control. You have a 1080p video player right here. And then the power signal amplifier to make sure you can get over-the-air TV. If this green light is on, then you're going to get over-the-air TV broadcast to your TVs. You can turn it off if you're just going to connect to a cable. But this will provide signal to your TVs from the antenna in this case, or from the cable TV. You can still amplify it either way. It's a nice setup to make sure you have TV reception. It's a nice motorhome. Go back and forth one more time, then we'll go outside and cover the roof, look underneath. This is the cushion that turns the dinette into a bed. This is your roof access ladder. They'll fit in the cargo compartments underneath. And people always ask me, are there outlets? There's power outlets everywhere. There's one right here, 110 volt. There's light switches everywhere to turn on the little lights around the coach. Turn them on and off. Power outlet over the kitchen space. All these little power outlets everywhere to help you out. So we're taking a little test drive of the diesel pusher Palazzo. The engine's in the back, so it's nice and quiet up in the front. I'm going to turn the AC down. I have excellent visibility out my mirrors. Excellent visibility out my side windows. .300 horsepower diesel engine with a lot of torque. So as I'm pushing to the floor to accelerate, this is full power. We're taking off, accelerating up. It's plenty of power. It's geared to run at freeway speeds. We're just taking it for a little cruise around here. It has side view cameras, so when I turn on my right turn signal, I get a right side view out the side view camera, which I showed you earlier is on the mirror. The little beep 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 is the turn signal, because the turn signal clicker is far away, so it beeps to indicate we're in a turn. I can see right down the side of the motorhome. So when you want to make a turn, you look at the turn radius of the rear tires just to make sure you're not going to run over the curb, and you run out just far enough so that you don't run over the curb, and then you can proceed forward. You don't want to scrape any signs or anything like that. Super simple. These diesel pushers are ideal for long freeway trips because they're quiet. And they got cruise control, tilt steering, power driver's seat. This one has the Allison push button 6-speed automatic transmission. So it shows you if it's in 6 high or 6 low gear range. You can manually select lower gears. There are instructions right behind the driver's seat that you can study up on. This is super nice for hills. And then you have a switch to help you slow down coming down hills. It says exhaust brake, but it's a transmission brake for transmission braking to slow you down coming down hills, so you don't wear out your brake pads. But the brake pads on this are big heavy-duty semi-truck brake pads, so it takes a lot of miles to wear them out. It's taking on a nice little test drive, and it has excellent stopping power. So if you're towing a trailer coming down a steep hill, you have outstanding big rig stopping power. See if anybody's coming. Nobody's coming. So I'm going to back it down the cul-de-sac. Just put the reverse button, watch the mirrors and the backup camera. I mentioned when I was looking at the outside, this has a very sharp wheel cut, so it can turn really sharp. Sharper than a gas motorhome, including the C or the A class. This has a super tight turning radius. I back down this cul-de-sac. This is not my house, but if it was, I could park right here and put the slide out over the curb, and it would not bother passing traffic. You can do that for extra room to walk around in a residential area. You've got a nice view of the backup camera. We're pulling in a parking lot, super easy to make sharp turns. We're gonna see in these parking spaces. Okay, we're facing straight and we're gonna cut a full U-turn. See how tight can it turn. Look at that. That was tight. See, you can't do that in a gas-powered motorhome. They won't cut that sharp of a turn. We're in reverse. See that? We're gonna do it again. And then we're gonna park in a couple parking spaces. And it's nice and quiet because the engine's in the back. That will spoil you once you have the engine in the back and all that extra torque to help push you up hills. When you're climbing a hill, having a lot more torque is nice. So we just put it in neutral on the transmission and we pull the release for the air brakes to engage the brakes to let the air out of the air brake system, and that locks the brakes on the spring brake so that the vehicle won't move. Now I'm going to engage the leveling jacks. Now this has fully automatic leveling jacks. Here's the thing, this is a kneeling coach. This is a kneeling coach. So you have a little lever here. This releases the air from the air suspension, and then the whole RV lowers down to the ground, to the lowest possible position, so that when you extend your jacks to raise the coach to level, it doesn't have to raise it that far. You don't have to step as high to get into the coach. Now I'm going to do semi-auto. There's two buttons on the top here, manual and auto. To use the leveling jacks, first you press and hold the on-off button till it's on. The engine must be running, and then you press, I recommend manual, but you can use auto. It does have auto leveling. And then you do manual, and that's not really manual leveling, that's semi-auto. So then I'm going to press and hold the front jack and let it go down, and once both pads are on the ground, the front will start lifting. And then I'm going to lower the rear. I'm going to raise the front a little bit more, raise it off the jacks. That's how you lower the jacks to the ground. Now, when you want to release the jacks on the diesel motorhome, because you have a crouching suspension, here's the difference between a gas motorhome. On a gas motorhome, you're all the way up on the long extended jacks. And then when you push retract all jacks, the RV drops on a gas motorhome. This is not a gas motorhome, this is a diesel. So when you want to retract the jacks, the first thing you can do is refill the suspension and raise it from the crouched position to air riding position. Once it's come up a little bit, then when you retract your jacks, it's not going to drop as much or as fast, because the air suspension is giving you a cushy landing spot. You can raise the jacks up. A little bit more. And the jack light went off. Or If you release the parking brake, this is not as recommended on a diesel because you don't want to bend the jack. You can release the parking brake and that'll cause an emergency retract of the jack system. Now we're going to talk about the gauges on the motorhome here. Starting, we have the fuel gauge. It has a quarter tank of diesel right now, and it has the DEF gauge below it. 1, 2, 3 stripes, green stripes, showing you have DEF fluid for the exhaust fluid. Oh, the horn works. That's your battery voltage. That's your speedometer, your tachometer, your coolant temperature, and your oil pressure. Over here on the left is your air pressure gauges for section 1 and section 2. Your needles are all topped and equal. And then this was your hill assist braking, transmission braking, your windshield wipers, an auxiliary jump start switch. If you ever have a set of dead batteries in this motorhome, you can just hit this switch to do a jump start. Down below is your headlight switch. And this little joystick here, I'm going to explain what that is as we go to the odometer over here. On the odometer, it has currently 11,578 miles. This has a little feature. So for example, I'm going to turn off the engine. Normally when you turn off the engine, the diesel exhaust fluid will start pumping into the exhaust to prevent soot. I'm restarting the engine. There's no wait to start on this. When you first turn the vehicle on, it has a pre-trip checklist which you can control with this. So if you go to the right, it puts a little check next to jacks, air levelers are up, and then it says check tow vehicle, check, tire pressure, check, engine maintenance is good, check, your radio antennas and TV antennas are down. Some people put a big flagpole on the back. This is a reminder, take that stuff down. Disconnect your power cord, don't forget that one. Don't drive away with it plugged into something. Disconnect water, disconnect sewer. Your cargo doors are closed, everything is secured. Shower door, the little glass door in the shower is locked so it doesn't move around when you drive. The vents on the roof are closed. You can leave them open because this does have weatherproof vent covers I show you on the roof tour. Awning arms are secured. There's nothing sitting on top of your countertop like a big frying pan that's going to go flying if you slam on the brakes. Making sure nothing's on your countertops. All the doors are secured. All your drawers are latched. Appliances secured. Your slides are in and secured. Your windows are secured. If you have a CB radio, you could turn that on and it checks. Now if you don't want to go through that checklist, which is a smart thing to do, and if you're like, I don't need no checklist, instead of pushing to the left, you push it to the right and it exits out of there. Now you can still control your display here. So as we go down, we can select the little highlighter and go down, and the date may not be right, but you can set the date if you want to play with it. Your trip time, your road speed, it shows in digital miles per hour what your road speed is. Your transmission temperature, generator hours, which for accurate hours is on the generator itself, but I think this one agrees with it. A date, and back to the odometer. Back to the screen we started from. Now over here on the left we have power mirrors and mirror heaters. We have cup holders, more cup holders, more cup holders. You have your dash air conditioning control. You have a dome light switch to turn on your dome light, your power shade to raise the power shade or to lower the power shade. Your dash fans, these fans up here, you can aim these in different directions. If you drive in the winter time, it's hard to keep your windshield defrosted if it's icy cold outside and it's warm inside. So you can turn on these fans to help defrost the windshield in the wintertime. In the summertime, it just circulates the air around, maybe makes the air conditioning work a little bit better. And then you have your generator start and stop switch. Now, let me explain how you start the generator. In order to start the generator on a diesel, is different than a gas motorhome. On the diesel generator, you press and hold the start up position until the generator starts. And it's going through a checklist, automated checklist. And sometimes it starts in 5 seconds. Sometimes it starts in 20 seconds. Depends on various factors, but you just press and hold it until it starts. If you want to turn off the generator, you just push down and turn it off. The diesel generator runs a little bit different than the gas one. And then this is your Jensen dash radio. Doesn't have navigation, but you can access your features. You have push buttons, and when I turn on the left turn signal, I get the left view camera. Right turn signal, or if I'm in reverse, I have my backup camera. Nice clear picture on that LCD screen. It also has a USB port right here on the front of the radio, and it has a 12 volt power point there. It has one on the passenger side. There's an AC 110 volt power. This does have that inverter, AC DC inverter, so your outlets work even if you're not running the generator. In most cases, you can run your electrical appliances, laptops, things like that, just without the generator as you're driving down the road, or even sitting at a campsite if you want to run the inverter at the campsite. So this is how you use the air conditioning system. First of all, only one of these controls your furnace or the heater. You push it, the first setting, and it says fan, and the display says AU. What that means is the fan will run automatically. You could alternatively push high or low for the fan to run on high or low, whether or not the air conditioner or furnace is running. That is a capability that it has. I personally prefer it to be on auto, but sometimes you want more air mixing going on, in which case you may want the fan to run on low or high. The next, push the on-off mode button again to cool. It's set for 73. That'll turn on the air conditioner. You push it one more time and you can select furnace. That's right now set for 81. Push it one more time and it goes to off. Right now we're only running one AC. That's all we need. I'm running the bedroom AC because it's in the back. It's quieter when everybody's in the front, and it's plenty of power to cool this coach. Yes, it's a black coach, but not all coaches are equal. Here's an important thing to point out. This RV has dual pane window glass, and it has the thicker sidewalls. If you look at other motorhomes, even of the same brand like Thor, and you take a measurement of how thick are the walls, some of them have thinner walls and some of them have thicker walls. And then you have two panes of glass here, double pane windows, reduce the amount of noise and thermal loss. Whether it's cold or hot outside, it stays more comfortable inside because you have the dual pane windows, and they're all crystal clear, excellent condition. So we're up on the roof looking and inspecting the roof for you. Roof is in great condition. We don't really see any cracks or leaks. We've had this in the rain, it did not leak. We washed it, did not leak. And one of the things we'll point out up here, you have these Max Air weatherproof vent covers. These are really good to have on any RV. Sometimes what can happen to an RV is the wind blows like crazy, and the vent covers, if you forgot to close them, they can get ripped off in the windstorm. And then you have an open gap in your roof, and then rain and water can come in. These weatherproof vent covers keep them from getting ripped off from the wind. And they also, you can leave the vents open in the rain or the snow and still get airflow in and out of the coach through the vent. Those weatherproof vent covers are really nice. These are the sewer and gray water vent tubes to vent to the outside. And then you have your Penguin, 2 big Penguin high performance air conditioning units up on the roof. The roof is in good shape. This is like a fiberglass roof material, and it's in very good condition. The front and rear cap are reinforced with a tape material to protect the seals, and then you have your digital over-the-air TV antenna, so you can get up TV antennas over the air broadcast. And then that's the top of your main power awning over there. You have a weatherproof awning on top of the main slide out and rear slide out. This is like a little conveyor belt here. So when you're at your nice campground and the birds are throwing acorns and leaves are falling out of the trees, they'll fall on top of the awning instead of on top of the slide out. So when you roll it in, they just roll off like a conveyor belt onto the ground. And snow and water and everything, it just runs off rather than running to where it can get into the inside. It's very important to have slide topper awnings on an RV, and these are in good condition right now. Now I'm going to talk about something real quick here. This video is about this motorhome for sale, but it's also how to use one of these motorhomes. So if you go to a full hookup campground, you're going to have water, sewer, and electrical. This one has 50 amp electrical. The power connector is right here. It comes with the cord. This has a little light on it to let you know that it's getting power. And then you plug it in and twist lock it, and the RV's plugged in. When you disconnect from the campground, you store the cable in your luggage compartment. Now some motorhomes, the cables are inside a compartment. There's an advantage to doing it this way, because there's no place here for critters to crawl into the inside of your motorhome. Some of the RVs we've seen with rodent damage is because little critters crawled up the power cord and got inside and messed things up. But you don't have that problem with this setup. Now over here, that big black, that's your black tank dump point with a gray and a black handle. So when you go to your full hookup campground, you'll have a place right there at your campsite to dump your waste tanks. If you go to primitive camping, you hold your waste tanks on board until you have a chance to go to a dump station. Now when you dump or when you're camped, you always keep the black valve pushed closed unless you're dumping. If you're at a full hookup campground, you can leave the gray valve open while you're hooked up, but on the last day before you're going to disconnect, close that gray valve and let your gray water fill up in the gray tank. And the reason you don't want to open the black tank when you're hooked up at a campground is 2 reasons. Reason 1, the gases from the campground can back up into your black tank. And so when you flush your toilet, there could be unnecessary smell. Normally the waste tanks will not stink on a motorhome, especially if you're keeping your black tank closed. The other reason is so that when you're doing your business in the toilet area, liquids and solids accumulate together. If you leave that open, the solids will pile up into a mountain of doom while the liquids flow freely out. You don't want to do that. But if you make a mistake, it has a sewer tank flush, so you can hook a garden hose up to it, and it has a little sprinkler in the black tank which will help you flush that tank out, just in case you ever made a mistake in that. That's the purpose of this video too, is you can watch the video again and see a reminder. The gray tank, if it's full, you need to drain it, but it's good to have that gray water build up in there. So once you've dumped your black tank, close that valve and then open the gray valve to flush your lines. That way you're not touching anything nasty. That's the advantage. It's really easy to hook up an RV at a campsite. There's no muss, no fuss if you do it like I say. and there's probably other people that have videos about it. So, and then the water pressure is just from the garden hose, but you do have a big onboard water tank. Now, if you saw the little graphic, I'm going to show a graphic on the screen now, which shows the specifications, including the water tank capacities. This is your water heater back here. It's a 10-gallon water heater, and it heats from gas, propane, or from electric when you're plugged in or running the generator. Now back here you've got 6 batteries, 2 for starting the engine and 4 for the house. So if you do primitive dry camping with no hookups, you've got a lot of battery capacity to run all your lights and stuff inside. It does have an inverter. We're going around to the other side to show you that. The inverter, oh, look at that nice chrome exhaust heat shield. The inverter is in this compartment, and it's got a nice big beefy one in here. That Magnum Energy is your inverter charger unit that charges the batteries, and it takes those batteries and turns them into 110 volt power, so you can play TV or video game or run a lot of your electronics inside without needing to use the generator. Now up front we have the generator running. Oh, and people have been asking me about this little tank here. That's your DEF tank, diesel exhaust fluid. On newer diesel engines, it's required that they have DEF system. So this does have the DEF system. It has a high capacity in there, so you don't have to add it very often. But the DEF makes it a clean diesel, so you're not making black sooty smoke exhaust for everybody to fuss over. So I'm going to mention the Good Sam app. I'm going to show you a little graphic here as we wrap up my video. If you go camping, I recommend you have the Good Sam app installed on your phone. It's really cool because you can find campgrounds near where you are or near where you want to be. And you can click on there and get your phone numbers for the campgrounds. You can call them up, make a reservation, or just go there and show up and see if they have space. It's really easy to use the Good Sam app. I like it. Now, thank you for watching my video. My name is Mike Johnson. I want you to go on my website and check if this motorhome is still available. Motorhomes, this is filmed at the end of April 2021, and motorhomes have been and cars have been selling like crazy. So this is my website, mybestcar.com. If you're buying the RV and you need to write me a check, you're going to pay it to the order of a buyer's choice. I'm a dealer located in Southern California, and then I appreciate you watching. If the RV is still available, or if you see another one on my website you like, give me a call and ask me about it. Call me direct, 951-681-2101. Thank you for watching.